You know what that little red one means. That's right, we've got new sounds here in the sound library in GarageBand, iPhone and iPad. Vintage drum machines are here. So in this video, we're going to take our first look at the Vintage Drum Machines drum kit pack here in GarageBand. Let's go. Hi, my name is Pete. This is Studio Live Today, where I help you create, record, and release your best music. And one of my favorite platforms is GarageBand right here in iOS. So whenever there is a new update to the sound library, you better believe I'm going to jump in and take a look. So what we have here is our Vintage Drum Machines drum kit pack. So let's take a little look at what we have here. So the description says, go back in time to the birthplace of hip hop and electronic music with a collection of the world's most iconic and revered drum machines. Oh, I'm looking forward to this one. Experience the booming kick of the Roland TR-808, the punchy snares of the LinnDrum, the folky toms of the Simmons drums, and more. There are 10 new drum machines to create your own custom beats in the beat sequencer, or get started with a collection of Apple design patterns. So what we're looking at here, it's only a small kit here, look, only 17 meg, but we're going to download this and have a look at these drum machine samples here in the beat sequencer and see what we've got on offer. Now, if you're new to GarageBand, the way to download new sound packs is here in the sound library. Now, you need to have iOS 11 or 12 and the latest version of GarageBand 2.3.7 to have all of the latest sounds available. But here in our instrument view, we just tap on the sound library and then we can jump in eventually to our Vintage Drum Machines pack here. We tap on the Get button and this will download it. In just a few seconds, we'll be ready to take a look at these brand new Vintage Drum Machines here in GarageBand. All right, so our Vintage Drum Machine drum kit pack is downloaded. We're going to tap to go back to the sound library, tap on Done, and now there's two ways to access these sounds. They're both under drums here. If we tap on More Sounds, you'll notice here that under our main categories, we can go Recently Added, and then if we scroll down here, we can tap on Vintage Drum Machines, and now we can select any one of these 10 new drum machines and use these just as a regular drum kit. So I'm going to sample the Roland TR-808. Let's tap on that one, and now, yeah, we can hit any of these samples. And yeah, there's some really classic drum machine samples that we can use there. So all we need to do is hit record and record these just like a regular drum track, and then we are good to go. But the other way that we can do this is to use the beat sequencer. So if we come back to our instruments and we tap on beat sequencer, what I might do is to demo these 10 new drum machine kits. Why don't we jump in? Because each one of these kits has their own different beat sequencer pattern. So let's add these. If we tap in the top left here, we can now tap on our drum kit here, and we can do the same thing. Let's go Recently Added, and we'll go Drum Machines. Here we are, Vintage Drum Machines, and there are our 10 drum machines. So what we'll go through is we'll tap on each one of these, and let's just sample each beat. So when we tap on each one, it's going to open that in our beat sequence, and then it's going to play the default pattern for that drum machine. So let's start with the LinnDrum. Very cool sounds, very cool beat. Now, if you don't know how to change your patterns, in the bottom left here, we can tap on that. And if you scroll over here, you can see that these are all of the new default sounds for these 10 new drum machines. They're right over to your right-hand side under these factory patterns. So as we select each one, it's going to bring up its own default pattern, but of course we can change those patterns in here. If you want to learn more about using the beat sequencer, check out my beat sequencer video, which will be linked up the top and down below. But now let's jump in and check out these other 9 new drum machines. Okay, so let's select our next one. We're going to tap here. Let's try the modern CR-8000. Yeah, that's very 90s. A lot of these songs, a lot of these patterns are going to sound like some 90s, 90s sort of R&B hip hop type of songs. Let's try the 707. Very cool beat, very cool sound. What about the 727? Yeah, it's a very particular sort of, when in the 90s we had this sort of reggae-infused hip-hop sort of beats, and a lot of these drum machines we use, they're very familiar. Let's try the CR-78. Yeah, very cool as well. What about the 606? liking it. The 808, let's see what the default pattern is for my favorite, the 808. Yeah, loving that beat, loving that drum machine. The 909, let's check this one out. Yeah, you can probably name a bunch of songs that use these exact drum machines and these samples just off the top of your head. Let's try the next one here. I'm pretty sure every Vanilla Ice song ever made used one of these 10 drum machines. Final one here, the Simmons SDS-V. Let's try this one. Yep, loving it. So some very cool sounds that we have in here. So there you go. There's just our first look. And GarageBand, whoever said GarageBand is not being developed anymore, GarageBand keeps having new sounds added to it. These vintage drum machines here in the drum kit pack are going to make especially your old school sort of hip hop and reggae beats and all of the rest of it. They're going to sound so good using these new drum machines. I hope you found this interesting. Jump into GarageBand now, update, get these new vintage drum machines. If you've got any comments, questions, or suggestions, you can leave those down below and I'll see you on the next video. Hey, thanks for sticking around. If you would like to learn more about GarageBand here on the iPhone or the iPad, there are 2 videos linked right down below. You can also subscribe to the channel by clicking on the Studio Live Today link in the top right corner, or head on over to studiolivetoday.com for even more audio goodness.